Hey guys, it's Punit here from Khoj. In today's lesson, I will be teaching you this amazing and beautiful composition, Nain Parindey. And this is part 2 of this lesson. In part 1, I've already uploaded that on YouTube, and that's the performance part for this song. So if you wish to check that out first, you can head over to the link in the description box below the video. Now this song is originally in the key of G sharp. So in order to make it very simple on acoustic, I have transposed it to the G major, which is half step down. So if you wish to play along with the original, just place a capo here on the first fret and play exactly what I'm teaching relative to that capo, so that it matches with the original track. So just a few quick things before we actually get into the lesson. I have a step-by-step course from beginner to advanced levels for those of you who are serious about music and wish to go beyond regular major and minor compositions and have interest in composing your own music as well. So you can check out those links in the description box below the video. Now without any further ado, let's get straight to the lesson. So progression 1 goes like this. We have G major 7, which has the notes G, F sharp, B, the 6th string 3rd fret, then the 4th frets on string 4 and 3 respectively. Then the second chord is a G dominant 7, where F sharp, instead of this F sharp note, we have a F note on the 4th string. This is 3, mute, 3, 4, 3x, 3, 4, and we are not playing anything on strings 1 and 2. So we are doing a pinch, slap, like that. And then we have a C major 7, C, E, B. This is 3rd fret of the 5th string, 2nd fret of string 4, and the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And lastly we go to the C minor 6, which is 3rd fret, 5th string, C note, same note. Then E flat here, 1st fret of the 4th string, and 2nd fret, which is the 6th in terms of the C. So this is the 2nd fret A note on the 3rd string. So we get this group of chords, that's G major 7, G7, C major 7, C minor 6th. So if you're someone who knows your basic 7th chords, you will probably realize that there's no 5th note being played in each of these voicings. Like in G major 7, we normally have this kind of a shape. So we are not using the D note. And the reason why this can be done is that the D note, while it lends a lot of stability to the sound, it's not essential to the chord character. So it's a very common thing in jazz to just drop this particular note in the chord voicing, so that we have a very tight and a very compact sound with the root, 3rd, and just the 7th. This is called as a shell voicing. So with the vocals it goes like Nain Parindey, pagle do na 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 tararara. Now an interesting thing for you to note here is the chromaticism. That means we are going half step down on string number 4, starting with the F sharp in the G major 7, F note in the G dominant 7, E note in the C major 7, and then the E flat note in the C minor 6 chord. So like that. This is the movement. Now let us look at the harmonic analysis for this part. Now before we look at the analysis, first it's important to know what are the chords in the key of G major, which is the parent scale or the root note of this particular song. So here on your screen you can see first are the triads that exist in the G major scale. We have 3 major chords, G major, C major and D, 1, 4, 5. And the 2, 3, 6 are the minor chords, A minor, B minor and the E minor. And F sharp is a diminished chord, and we can extend this harmonization further to include 7th chords. So we get a G major 7, A minor and a B minor 7. 4 chord is a C major 7. The 5th chord becomes a D dominant 7. The 6th chord is an E minor 7, and the 7th chord becomes an F sharp minor 7 flat 5, also known as the F sharp half diminished chord. So now that we know the chords that exist diatonically within the G major scale, let us look at the first progression. So here we have the G major 7 going to the G7 that goes to the C major 7, and lastly the C minor 6. We've already seen how to play this. Now here as you can see, the G major 7 and the C major 7 already exist in the G major scale. That is, they are diatonic chords. The non-diatonic chords that have been used here are the G7 and the C minor 6. So let us first look at the G7 chord and how it works. So if you see the next chord after G7, it's a C major 7. This is a 5-to-1 relationship, and this concept is called as a secondary dominant. This creates a temporary tension in the chord progression that then resolves to the next chord. So it's mainly a tension device. And as far as the C minor 6 chord is concerned, let us look at the notes of this chord. We have a C, E flat, A and G. So here one of the notes, that is the E flat, is not within the G major scale. So the analysis for this again is that it comes from the parallel minor key of G major, which is a G minor chord. Sorry, a G minor scale. So here we have the flat 6, which is the E flat. So the C minor 6 chord, which has that E flat note, can be said to be a chord that is borrowed from the parallel minor, that is the G minor scale. Now coming to progression number 2, we have Pankh Jhatakiye, E minor 7. So you can see the tabs on screen. Ud jayenge, a beautiful A dominant 7 chord. This is a regular A7, open A7. Then we go to the G major, Asman mein, normal G major, na 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 na. Then we have a quick change, F major, na 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 na, into a C major. So all normal regular open chords, F, C, and then we go back to progression 1. So now let us look at the harmonic analysis for this part. Now here in progression number 2, we have E minor 7, the G and the C, which exist within the G major scale. The outside chords or the non-diatonic chords here are the A dominant 7 and the F major. So let us first look at the analysis for the A7 chord. The A7 chord, again here it's a secondary dominant because it's an outside tension. But normally a secondary dominant would have a 5-to-1 resolution. That is, the A7 would go to the chord which is a 5th down from that A, which is a D chord. However, here we see that the next chord is a G major, and this is a very interesting concept that's called as a deceptive cadence. So here, instead of resolving to the D major, we have a resolution to the G major, which kind of fools the listener. So it's called as a deceptive cadence. Now coming to that F major chord, again it has the notes F, A and C. So here the F note is not within the framework of the G major scale, and again it's a borrowed chord from the parallel minor, that is the G minor, where the flat 7th note is the F note. So that F major can be said to be a borrowed chord. Now looking at progression number 3, which is the part where there's a guitar solo. So that goes like this. We are playing a G major 7. So G major 7, full G major 7. Then going to the E minor 7. Then we play a B minor, a regular B minor. So and then a beautiful D6. So very beautiful voicing. So here it's basically the same shape as this B minor, only we have changing the bass from this B to the D. So the fingering will change a bit. So G major, E minor, B minor going to D6 again. Then a beautiful C sharp minor 7 flat 5. This is a very beautiful tension chord. Then just we have to pull our finger back 1 fret, C major 7. That goes to the bridge section. Now let us look at the harmonic analysis for this section. So for this progression 3, which you can see on your screen, we have the first 4 chords, the G major 7, E minor 7, B minor, D6. All are diatonic chords as they are all within the framework of the G major scale. The outside chord is our C sharp minor 7 flat 5, which then goes to the C major 7 chord. And analysis for this is very simple, is that if you look at the bass line starting from the D6, the D chord, we go to the C sharp chord and then the C chord. So here we have a stepwise half stepwise motion, or which is known as a chromatic bass line. So that's why this C sharp minor 7 flat 5 has been used. Again, what it does is that it temporarily introduces some tension into the chord progression, which then resolves into the next chord. So progression 4 goes like this. This is the bridge section. These are the same chords that we've seen earlier, just a different progression. B minor or B minor 7. Quick change to E minor 7. Then going to C sharp minor 7 flat 5. Badal badal. Beautiful change. Then again we go back to the B minor. Then we go to this beautiful G dominant 7. Or you can play it like this. So this is a G7 or a G dominant 7. Then C major 7. A minor 7. Then it goes to this beautiful D7 sus4 chord. This is a very complicated name, but the chord shape is very simple. It's just a bar. Then we play a diminished, a very interesting tension here, E flat diminished. This is 6th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret on the middle 4 strings. And then just move this shape up 1 fret to the E diminished 7th. So all in all we have G7, C major 7, A minor 7, D7 sus4, and then we end on the C major 7 chord. So now let us look at the harmonic analysis for this part. So here in this progression, which you can see on your screen, again we have that same chord, which is a C sharp minor 7 flat 5. And again, we've already seen that this is a chromatic approach, the C sharp minor 7 flat 5. And again, we have a G7, which also we know is a secondary dominant, which we've looked at earlier. Then the second half of this chord progression, it starts off with a C major 7, going to A minor 7, going to the D7 sus4. All of these are diatonic chords. The D7 sus4 is also a diatonic chord. It has the notes D, G, C and E. So it's again a diatonic chord. Then we have two very interesting diminished chords, the E flat diminished 7 going to the E dim 7, and that then goes to the C major 7. So here the concept that has been used here is again it's a chromatic approach. If you look at the notes of each of these three chords, the E flat and the E diminished followed by the C major 7, here on your screen you can see the notes. Here there's a stepwise motion from the A note to the B flat to the B. That's why this chord progression sounds good. So this again is a very interesting and very unique kind of a sound. Then we have a progression similar to progression number 2, which is yeah, there's a small switch, G major, A7, then E minor 7, आसमान में खो जाएंगे, F, C. So here instead of starting with the E minor, we have started with the G major, and instead of that G major which comes later, we have an E minor. So just a switch between those two chords. Otherwise, all of those chords you have already looked at before in progression number 2. Now let us look at the analysis for this. Now coming to this progression 5, here we have the A7, which is again a secondary dominant with a deceptive cadence, where this time it resolves into the E minor instead of the D major. So just like in progression 2, again we have a deceptive cadence. Now coming to the very last chord progression, which is again a music piece. So this is progression number 6, I think. So we have so this is again G major 7 shell voicing, G7, just like the intro, the progression 1, C major 7 shell voicing, and then we go back to the G7 this time. So Then we go again to the C major 7, or you can play a C major 7 with the ninth note added here, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, D note. A7 suspended 4, A7 sus 4. So it's just like an A7, but first time we're adding the D note. Then we are playing it with the normal A7, the C sharp, D to C sharp, 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the B string. Then we go G major, D minor 7, beautiful D minor 7. And then we go to the E minor 7. Then we go to the C minor 6, which we had seen in the intro. C minor 7 going to a C major 7. So the entire music piece goes like this. Then C major 9. Then it goes to the like that, and then it goes to the next progression, which is all repeating parts. So now let us look at the harmonic analysis for this one. So now coming to the last chord progression that has been used in the song, we have the first half is the same, the G major 7 going to G7, C major 7, again the G7, which is a secondary dominant, that then goes nicely into a C major 9. And again we have an A7 sus 4 chord, which as we have seen is again the secondary dominant chord. And again here with a deceptive cadence, it's going into a G major. Then here we have a very interesting D minor 7 chord, which has the notes D, F, A, C. Again, this is a borrowed chord from the G minor scale because it has that F note. And then we have the E minor 7, which is a diatonic chord, C minor 6 and C major 7, which we've seen earlier. C minor 6 is again a borrowed chord, and C major 7 is diatonic. So again here there are two interesting outside sounds in this chord progression, which is the D minor 7 and the C minor 6. So guys, that's it for this lesson. I hope you've learned a lot of new concepts, and again reminding you that if you wish to learn step-by-step theory, you can check out my courses. Link is there in the description box below this video.